Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another, actually, the first Easy Talk of the new year. The new year, yeah, the new year, man. Time's gone so quick. And probably a sign of age. I'm feeling my age, Des, man. I'm feeling it. 21, 21, 21. 21 again. That's what it is. That's what it is. But oh, sorry. So we got some topics as usual that we want to talk about. And we've got the familiar faces, the threesome, three of us, four of us. We're going to be talking about the topics. The first thing I want to talk about, even though it's not actually part of the topics, is this video, short snippet of Edu Gaspar talking about Champions League and the project, in inverted commas, the process. So, guys, I want you to have a look at this very, very quickly, and I want your opinion on this rather interesting video from Edu Gaspar. Let's have a look here. Uh,
Yeah, I think the project is not linked with the Champions League. The project is linked to be every single year be better club, put quality in the squad, better player, better group of players, also everything. So every single year we have to be better and better and better. I think we're doing quite well, but in the sequence of that, for sure we're going to be fight for something important. Yeah, I think the project is not linked with the Champions League. The project is linked to be every single year be better club, put quality in the squad, better player, better group of players, also everything. So every single year we have to be better and better and better. I think we're doing quite well, but in the sequence of that, for sure we're going to be fight for something important.
who wants to go first?
Let's leave it to the enforcer.
Oh, thanks, man. Oh, thanks for that. I'm glad we live in a democracy. Yeah.
There's welcome
The
to
enforcer
Easy
should
Talk,
handle
man.
them.
Uh, well, what a load of. I can't find the words, to be honest, Alex. Um, I'm like, well, how can you go from saying it's not about the Champions League, right? When
Yeah,
all we've done for the last 10 years is try to get into the Champions League and to become a better club every season. Well, to become a better club every season, right, you have to spend money. And I don't think we are going to spend peanuts this January window. We're all going, oh, we want Toney, we want this, we want that. We're not going to get them. So it's just, do you know what it is? It's clever PA. It's keep on the side of the fans just for now until we can get things sorted out. That's how I feel about it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I don't know. Isaac, Prosper, who wants to go next, man?
I want to be the last one to go. Isaac, please go at them.
Isaac, go for it. I think we've lost Isaac.
Isaac, you're muted, mate. Put your microphone on. That's it.
Yeah, here I am. I'm saying, you've Edu has got to be serious, very serious, because I believe they are trying so much on the PR part and they are getting it wrong. He's got to be honest and sincere when you say it is not you're having two different things at the same time. It should be connected. The process should be connected to the Champions League. That is my take. So it is unfair to what Ateta and Edu have done to us. They have raised our hopes so high, and now it's like they want to crash everything down. They should be serious and let it be connected to the Champions League, because the Champions League is a trophy that has evaded us for the longest time possible. We need it, and the project actually should be connected.
So all right, Prosper, let me know your thoughts on this video from Edu, the sporting director.
Yeah, Edu has just added the icing on the cake on my presumption on the last show. I said it on the last show. This is a proper pyramid, Ponzi pyramid scheme. Put in everything you can put in to get the Champions League, and when you get the Champions League, you start making that big money. Then shut it off. It's all about the money. Let's get to top 4 position, sell those tickets, sell those jerseys, make the numbers, then shut off. It's not about winning any trophy at all. It's about getting in that money. So for me, I saw it from far, and thanks to Edu Gaspar, he's just put it into perspective. That's the clear picture for Arsenal. And next, they'll go like, well, the EPL as well is not part of the process or the project. But I mean, the process and the project is all centered around football. And part of it, your yardsticks, your measuring yardsticks are the trophies, the big games. I mean, the big accolades. If you can't get those, then there's nothing you're doing. There's no process. It's just a Ponzi scheme that we're running at Arsenal, you know? And unfortunately, the biggest stakeholders, which are the fans, are the ones who are paying the price for that Ponzi scheme.
Des, what is wrong in saying that the project is the champion? Why can't he just not say, literally, we're in it to win the FA Cup, the Premier League, and why did he not want to say that, Des?
Why did he not just say the project? Why did he have to make it specific? Because end of the day, what is the goal for Arsenal Football Club? Is it the league? Is it the Champions League? Because to me, right, as a supporter, and I'm trying not to speak for everybody, but I think I speak for a lot of fans. We want to win everything, don't we? So,
Yes.
so the thing is why be specific? Why not just call it the project, as in covering everything? Yeah, because all you're doing is you're putting things in boxes, and what's more important than another? If I was to ask each one of you, and it's a simple question, what's more important to you, Alex? The league, just for simplicity, the league or the Champions League? What's more important to you?
For me personally, to win the league, the Premier League.
Exactly, and that's the same for me, right? Champions League is a bonus. Champions League is, win the league first, then think about winning the Champions League. Okay, and Arsenal haven't won the league for a long time. We need to focus on winning the league first, and then looking at the Champions League.
But there's again, you've hit the nail on the head. Why was he so specific in saying, listen, the project is not linked to the Champions League? Why was he so specific on that?
I don't, because that tells me that Edu doesn't think we're going to win the Champions League. Yeah, and he's cutting his losses before it happens. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting from that. I mean, to win the Champions League, you have to buy Champions League players. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not. Do not get me wrong. I'm not against Edu, right? I'm not against him at all. I think he's done a lot of good for the club, and I think he'll go on to do a lot more good for the club. But he didn't need to say all this. That's the feeling I'm getting from it.
Yeah, but truth be told, again, the segment or the snippet is quite short, so we don't have the full context, really.
No, that is very true. But if you're just going on that snippet, that's how he's going to react. It gets a reaction.
Oh my goodness. Isaac, is there anything else you want to say before we go on to the actual first topic on the show, Isaac?
I believe as a fan base, we deserve a lot more, and as a club, we say this is a game of results, and it is results we want, and we deserve to win because we've waited for a very long period, especially for the Champions League, which we've never won, and for the Prem, we've waited for a very long time, and we should be given what we are giving. We are giving, as a fan base, we are giving our best to support the club. But it's like we are getting substandard at some point. They're trying so much in their PR, and sometimes they are getting it wrong. Honesty and drive and vision is very important. And all along is winning games. If you win games, then it has got to be connected because you want to win games, you want to move forward, and if you want to win games, then you want to win everything. That's it, Alex.
Yeah. Okay. And Prosper, just to cap it off. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, as Days has said, as Isaac has said, you cannot you cannot put success and progress in a different basket as the Champions League or the Premier League. If the team is good enough to win the Premier League, it will be good enough to win the Champions League. And if the team is good enough to win every game, every weekend, it's good enough to win the league because everything is correlated. So you cannot dissect them and put them in different avenues. You say, okay, the process is about us playing beautiful football, but not winning the league. So even if you are top of the table, we just drop points so that other people can win the league. And we stay number 2 as long as we play beautiful football. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's all correlated. And as Days was saying, it's a buying of players, it's all correlated. The technical aspect of the game, everything. And the end result is winning those trophies. So if you're saying the process is not about winning the trophies, then what is the process all about? You should specify what is it all about. Because I'm sure if we are good enough to win the Premier League, for winning every weekend, then probably we'll be good enough to challenge for the Champions League and get the semi-finals or even the finals because we'll have a good team. Yeah.
Just mind-boggling. But you know what? Let's get, I guess, to the first topic, the actual first topic. And the first topic was so we're playing against Crystal Palace tomorrow. And these are the last 6 meetings we have had with the Eagles. Now, I titled this first topic, Beat Crystal Palace or Bust. I think we've won 1 in the last 7 games. I think there's...
Yeah.
Is it beat Crystal Palace or bust for you, Des?
Yeah, I agree with your heading. I really do. I don't know what's happened to us over the last 8 weeks. Again, I can only say what I see. Is Arteta experimenting this season? Because if experimenting, it's not working. I.e., the type of player that he's brought in. To me, it proves that, and this might be controversial, but I'm going to be a bit blunt here. Saka is droppable now. Yeah. And he obviously doesn't rate Reece Nelson, because why isn't he rotating those two? You know, because Reece Nelson could easily play in Saka's place. I think he's absolutely destroying Emil Smith Rowe. I don't know what Emil Smith Rowe's done to be out in the cold for so long. It's just, I don't know. For me, it is beat Crystal Palace or bust, because we've lost too many points. How can you go here? This is my point, right? How can you go from being top of the league to 4th in 3 days? In 3 days, you've gone from top of the league to 4th. What does that tell you? That's a dramatic drop, okay? And it proves that players like, I've lost my train of thought for a second, Casper the Friendly Ghost, Havertz, he's not good enough. I'll even, Odegaard, my favourite player, at the moment, is having a bad run of form. Saka is having a bad run of form. Martinelli, I mean, you could go on. Yeah.
But there's, how is that possible? That all those shining stars last season are all off form this season, all at the wrong time.
I might be wrong here. I might be barking up the wrong tree, but something's going wrong in that changing room. Yeah, and I think one of the mistakes he made was bringing Raya in and having two number 1 keepers. Yeah, it has to start somewhere, and I think that was the start of it. You've lost that. I think we've lost the togetherness of the team that we had last season, and we were walking onto pitches and we weren't fearing anybody, and yet now we're getting beat by teams that shouldn't even be getting near us. Yeah, we're going to be worried about going to Luton and little teams like this. You know, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Luton; they've done really well, but you know, there's teams we've lost against that we shouldn't have lost against. After the way we were playing last season, which was almost, well, for the first 6 months was perfect, wasn't it? You know.
Is there a revolt? Is that what you're telling me amongst the players?
There could be. There could be. I think there's a level of unhappiness that is spreading through the team, and I don't think the players are getting the respect they deserve, to be honest, possibly even from the manager. And I'll tell you one thing: I'm not Arteta out. I'm not starting all that. But what I will say is this: I do believe that Arteta has to be more open, and he has to be more open with the fans. All right, you don't have to say it to all the reporters, but if you've got to be open with the fans, because in a way, do we really know what's going on? We don't.
Do we need to know? Do we need to know, Des?
Well, not so much need to know, but we need. What's the words I'm looking for? You need to have an idea of what's going on. And let's be honest, have you got any idea what's going on at the moment?
No.
Well, do you know what I mean? There's my point. As a fan, you like to know what's going on in your club in a way that, all right, they don't have to tell us all the details, but at least tell us that this is okay, so and so's okay. You know, there isn't any sort of dissent in the changing room or whatever. You know, because we can't just sit here and think, oh, yeah, all right, we've lost the last 7, but it'll be all right. It doesn't work like that.
But Des, does it have to be Mikel Arteta coming out and telling us what's going on? Can it not be somebody else?
No, it could be anybody. But obviously the manager, it has to be. Do you get what I mean if I say it has to be in the manager's style?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean by that? Yeah. So they're not just coming out and just saying this, and this. It's got to have some Arteta structure behind it, you know.
Isaac, beat Crystal Palace or bust. Come out, go, leave. What do you think?
If we don't beat Crystal Palace, it will be an embarrassment.
Yeah,
we are supposed to hammer them seriously. If we want to believe we are anywhere near good enough, that is a must. Not just win game, but a must win game. We have to win. I don't care if it is a derby. It is a derby, yes, but it's a game that we have to win. It is win or bust for me. We've been misfiring so far. Our front, we have 4 players this season who are misfiring. We are creating chances, but we are not capitalizing. We are not finishing them off. I will be worried if we are not creating chances. But the thing is, we are creating chances, but we are having players who are misfiring or who are out of form this season. I believe I was watching somewhere after Leno left. After Leno went to Fulham, he was asked in an interview how it was during the Arsenal documentary. And he said some of it was just camera, some of it was not real. I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
And it's like we've invested so much in PR. I remember we brought in someone from Chelsea. Someone was at Chelsea on the PR issues. And we are so much into PR. And it's like at some point, the manager does not even know what he wants or what he's doing, because he's made decisions which have cost us. He's made decisions which we obviously as a fan base feel it is not the best of the decisions that he could have made. Just as we were saying on the last show, even some of the substitutions he was making, you could see as a fan base, this is wrong. He should not have taken someone else off instead of taking Saka off because he's not in the game. All that, but tomorrow is a must-win game. Come rain, come sunshine, he should win that game. That is, if he wants us to give him peace and not just think of winning that game and finishing top 4. He should win that game and build on it so he goes for the title. That is what we want. He's given us that much hope, and then he's certainly crushing our hearts that we ain't taking, that we are not accepting that. He's got to know what he should do. I was watching them training in Dubai, and the last time I said he's so much into playing soccer and not coaching, and he's still doing the same thing. During the rondos, he's there, he's part of the jigsaw, and I was asking myself, last time I talked about this thing, he's part of the puzzle, and then during games he's on the touchline, he's not part of the system that he's cultivating into the players. What happens then? He needs to concentrate on managing. If it is so hard for him to then he should come out of retirement and start playing.
Isaac. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Stay in retirement.
Stay in retirement and give us good vibes. Go win tomorrow. Build on that because we are actually playing tomorrow, and then Liverpool is playing on Sunday. Win your game tomorrow. Go 2 points off, and then on Sunday see what happens. And apparently, Mo Salah is injured, and he's the main man at Liverpool. Yeah. I don't know what is going to happen to Liverpool if they are going to sustain the pressure without Mo Salah. But I'm hoping that we'll start firing soon.
So there's and Isaac, they've given their opinion, and you're both saying it's we should be beating Crystal Palace, but is that part of the problem? That we have a divine right to say, oh, we should be going to Crystal Palace, we should be beating them? Is that not part of the problem, Isaac and Des? That we're thinking, oh no, we're going to go there, we should beat them. It's the Premier League.
Okay, Alex, listen to this, right? 60 shots in 2 games didn't hit the back of the net. Right? Yeah. 60 shots in 2 games didn't hit the back of the net. There's something wrong. I think one of the things with yes, we should be going and beating Crystal Palace. Okay, we should, but the way we're playing, I don't know. And I know they've gone off and done some training. I know they've gone off and done some training. But what I have noticed in the last 7 weeks, and this just came to me, so sorry about that, is we're holding on to the ball too long. We're not shooting when we should be shooting. And why we suddenly become scared again to not shoot outside the 18-yard box? It's like, oh, we've got to walk it in the goal. No, we don't. Have a shot. Because you just don't know, do you? You just don't know.
But does that not go back to the original problem that we don't have an out-and-out striker who can...
Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Jesus. But I've got the feeling he's not going to get you 20, 25 goals a season. Yeah? Don't get me wrong. He's a great player and he can scare a defender all day long. I mean, he's got skills, but he's not going to score you 20, 25 goals a season. We need someone who, do you know what? I'll even be even more controversial. I would have a Aubameyang back. I know, but who? Look where he's scoring goals, Alex. He's still doing it. Yeah. He's still doing it. At the end of the day, he isn't going to come back.
I've
But
got Isaac's face. Isaac's face.
oh, I know. But
You
the thing is,
mentioned
the point I'm trying to make is he's
You should go
scoring
for
goals.
Benzema. Benzema wants to come.
He's scoring goals, Alex. I mean, look at Giroud for
Yeah, I
AC
know.
Milan.
I know.
Still scoring goals, you know. I mean, why didn't we go after Kane? Look how many he scored for blooming, you know. It's crazy. He's going to be
Des, would you go for Jamie Vardy?
too old.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's only because I think he's too old. If it was a couple of years ago, yeah, 2-3 years ago, I would have said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's lost that. The problem with Jamie Vardy is, I think he's lost that extra yard, and that makes a difference. That makes a difference to a striker.
Yeah. Yeah. Prosper, man. The problem with us, we think we're going to Crystal Palace. We should be beating Crystal Palace.
That's not a problem, Alex.
No.
That's not a problem.
All right.
Every team that's coming to the Emirates is coming there from home. They're talking about, let's go beat Arsenal, and that's what football is all about. Let's go beat Arsenal. If the worst comes to the worst, let's get a draw, but let's go beat Arsenal. So there's no problem in us getting off our toes and saying, let's go beat Crystal Palace. Because at the first place, when did we look at Crystal Palace as a rival? You know, where we have to say maybe we gotta get a draw. From history, player to player, investment, Arsenal is a bigger club. So we should be going to Crystal Palace and saying, we're going to get those 3 points. That's how you win a league.
No,
so
but not with our current form. 1 win in 7, Prosper.
No, we're not talking about the current form. We're talking about the stature of our team, the finances, the resources we have. You know, forget about the form. We're supposed to be up there and saying, we're going to Crystal Palace to get 3 points. So when did we start compromising with teams like Crystal Palace? Then how far should it go? It will go to Fulham. Next season, it will be like, let's go to Fulham and get a draw. You know? You see? So now back to the beat Crystal Palace or best. 1 in 6. We've only won 1 in 6 games. Our transfer period has been inactive. So if we are to make a statement that, okay, fine, we didn't need to buy any players, we didn't need to shake up our dressing room, it's this game. And it starts from now, and we're supposed to win with a big margin, to instill that confidence in the fans and even any other stakeholder that this club is good enough to challenge for the league. But you haven't had any transfer action in the transfer period, and then you go to Crystal Palace and goof. What happens? Even in the dressing room, what happens? Now, going back to Daisy's point, where he said Saka, Odegaard, Kai, he mentioned about Kai not being the player. You know, when you go into the transfer period and you spend so much money, you need to buy an impact player, instant impact, not may try. No, instant impact. And Kai hasn't delivered. That's why everybody now is like, no, give him time. You know, this is high-level professional football. We are not nurturing player. If a player like him doesn't deliver from the start, it's not as good enough. We wasted our money. And we have to reach a point where we accept our mistakes. So as Dave was saying, all these players are misfiring. And I just want to add a bit of icing on the cake where you mentioned there's something that's not going on well in the dressing room. And very true. Look at all our top players, starting from the time Arteta came in. First, they would shine, Aubameyang would shine. Then all of a sudden, Aubameyang became useless. You know? Then there was our center forward, who Lacazette. Lacazette was playing well. Then, for some strange reason, Arteta did his technical whatever. Then a top player like Lacazette goes off. And then it's about the captain armband. Everybody that has won that captain armband in Arteta's time has left the club. Tierney is one of those who's about to leave the club if we're not careful. So there's something really wrong. It's some chronic disease that is in that dressing room. The players are like, no matter how much you give to Arteta, there's no loyalty in him. There's no trust in him. He'll kick you out. because you need to have the team. Every team needs to have some pillars. You know, you need to have a Patrick Vieira in the team. Those guys that these guys are blade for the team. They deserve to be at the club, come what come may. Now, look at Arteta's track record. Everybody, Zaka, Captain Armband, gone. You know, it's just that. So even the players in the dressing room are like, okay, no matter how much you give in to this manager, you're not gonna get a thank you from him. He'll kick you off just like anybody else. So why die for the team? You know? So that's why you see the performances of the other guys and everybody going down, because it's never Arteta's problem, but it's always Aubameyang's problem, Lacazette's problem, all the top players. Now you can't say Aubameyang from scoring almost 30 goals per season to misfiring, and then you say it's a player's problem. There's a technical problem there. And that's what we're experiencing right now. And with a young squad, you need a manager that's tactically equipped, which unfortunately Arteta isn't. Now, going to Isaac's point, where we're doing so much PR than the actual football. And this is exactly where I call it a Ponzi scheme, because we're so concerned about sales that we're forgetting Arsenal is about football. So for a short period of time, you can make the sales because of PR, but eventually the castle will fall because the foundation is football. Everybody who's here on this channel live right now all over the world, that Cannon Ford and every other Arsenal channel and supporting Arsenal is there because of Arsenal football, not about PR or whatever. So if the football just goes off, dies completely, then everything shuts off. So instead of us concentrating on the PR and all this nonsense, it's about time we played some football. We brought in that faith into not only the fans, but even the players, that, you know what, we can challenge for trophies, we can win trophies, we can be a big club. Not, as I said from the last show, we can't just be a big club in history and finances. We have to be a big club in the locker room, where in the wardrobe, where we have trophies. And one of the trophies we really need is the Champions League. So when you go out to the public with your PR and say, well, the process is not about the Champions League. Honestly speaking, ask me as a fan. I've seen Arsenal win the league before.
Yeah.
But I don't want to die without the Champions League, because that's the only thing that Chelsea gets at me on. You've never won the Champions League. And I don't want a Chelsea fan in my face talking about the Champions League. No. So I need a trophy, a big trophy like that one. You know?
Yeah.
So Crystal Palace is a must-win game. It's a foundation of everything that will happen after this transfer period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of things, you know. There's I know your bookkeeper. We also don't have any money. All this profit and sustainability, which is the English FA. On top of that, you've got football fair play rules. We don't have any money to go to the market anyway to buy a player.
Can I throw a little possible spanner in there?
Yeah.
Do you think this fair play rule thing, where people are getting deducted points, possibly relegated, Everton are going to get deducted points again apparently, and so are Nottingham Forest, do you think it scared the owners?
I don't think so.
No, do you not think so?
What I would say there is, I think they're going after the cheaper targets rather than going out Man City.
It's
make an example of your Evertons.
I would agree. But I think part of the problem we've got as well, we have to go back to Chelsea with their stupid 8-year contracts and so-called loopholes. Yeah. The market in football has been absolutely wrecked because of these silly 8-year contracts, or players being paid more than what they're worth. Yeah, because let's be honest. Let's take a player. Let's take a player. Phillips, who used to play for Leeds, played for got bought by Man City. Yeah, has he even played a game?
Maybe a quarter of a game, not
quarter of a game, and now they're going to sell him. It kills the market. That lad was no way worth what they paid for him.
Yeah.
You know, And it's a domino effect. It's a domino effect because people, like we've said in shows before, and we've said a lot of things in shows before, Alex, but the new 100 million is the new 50 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's wrecking the game. Absolutely wrecking the game. I mean, look at Declan Rice, 105 million, hit the ground running. Last couple of games, he's had a bit of a nightmare. But it just shows it can happen to anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, right, Arsenal fans, and I can only speak for Arsenal fans, if it goes wrong quick, we're on the back of somebody as quick as it goes wrong. Do you know what I mean? We're not tolerant. As a fan base, Arsenal fans are not tolerant. Everything has to happen, and it has to happen now. Hold on a minute. Why didn't it happen yesterday? You know?
But I think the reason why we are like that, so inclined to have a reaction or a hyperbole reaction, is because we waited so long for the Premier League title.
Yeah,
We've been waiting for major honours. Haven't won a Champions League ever.
I totally agree. But I think we ride that tailcoat a bit too long.
Yeah.
And maybe as a fan base, and I'm speaking openly, and I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm just speaking for myself. As a fan base, I think we need to calm down a little. You know?
Take it easy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Breathe.
Right, guys, let's talk about breathe. Let's take a pause. Let's go into the live chat and let's see who's joined us. And we've got Colin who says, hey, oh, smash that like button up. Let's go, Alex. Bring it, Des.
I'm bringing it, Colin. Don't you worry about
it. Let's get it right. Edu, barbecue, jet ski. Let me go on to the next one. Colin, behave yourself. Evening panel and chat room. The enforcer, it's not clever PA. As we all know, it's nonsense. Willian left without getting his contract cleared up. In my honest opinion, it was wisecracks like Edu's speech that nobody is. I mean, the first few seconds, I thought, what is he talking about? How can you say the project is not connected to the Champions League? And like you said, it's so specific.
Yeah.
Sorry, Des. Go on, Des.
Can I just say I agree with the assembled, but I'm just saying from their point of view, they think it's clever PA. I didn't mean I thought it was clever PA. I just wanted to clear that up.
All right. Colin says, first competition of the season for me, the Carabao Cup, and build from there. Then the assembled says, question. Is this a question? He says, Arsenal are not a cup team in the last few years. So why is Edu saying Champions League, Isaac? Why is he saying Champions League?
He's perhaps mentioning the Champions League because it's like a cup we haven't won so far. But I believe after perhaps watching what our reaction is to his statement, he might in a way try to to make that right by having maybe a reaction, perhaps in another interview if he is asked about the same, to correct what he said. He might, if he's watching, he might see the reaction is not okay or is not great as he might have wished, and he might track back on his sentiments on saying the project and the Champions League, because it's something we haven't won for a very long period. And if we haven't, yes, we appreciate we haven't won the Champions League. As Prosper was saying, sometimes when I'm watching football in the arena, my friends keep telling me Arsenal is not a big club. They tell me that Aston Villa is a bigger club than Arsenal because they have a Champions League cup, and it really hurts me. And we do need that Champions League, but he's got to be careful with what he says.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, just to top it off, so we can go into the next segment. I put in a request 4 years ago at Arsenal to get Edu onto the channel, and Arsenal did respond at that time, and they did say, I think it was the communications department. They said, "Thank you, we have received your request to interview Edu, Mr. Gaspar, and we will get back to you." And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting.
I guess he didn't photograph.
How many years back?
About 4 years. 4 years ago, and I've still got the email there. I still have the email.
Can I just say
Older
something?
than my daughter.
I've just checked something out, guys. Apparently, right, the winner of the Champions League for the 22-23 season will get 2.032 billion euros or 1.72 billion pounds if you win the Champions League. That's the total purse. The total purse.
Wow. Money talks. Money talks.
You know how it goes. You know how the rest of it goes.
Wow. Wow. Do you know what? Let's go on to the second segment. And seeing how things are, again, I think I was corrected by Prosper. It's 1 win in 6. Is there a faint possibility that Arsenal may not finish in the top 4, Prosper?
Yeah, as I called it out in September, for me, it's all about what I see. And the way Arsenal was playing at the beginning of the season to where we are, for me, hasn't been a fluke, because when you have games that you can easily win and you struggle to win them, that should raise alarms. You can't have, as Des was saying, 20-something shots on goal and fail to score 1 goal. That should raise alarms. You can't control the game in the first half, be the first ones to score, then you panic to get it to 90 minutes and you're like, ref, it's time up, ref, it's time up. When you had all the control in the first half to bury that game. And that's how we've been playing. And when people go like, oh, but they were like, but we're still top of the league and everything. I'm like, wait until it breaks off. It breaks down. And that's what Days was saying. 3 games and next 3 games, who knows where we'll be, Because we haven't had those convincing wins where we go like, okay, we've smashed this big team or we've smashed this small team. It's always been close to the edge. Okay, let's just get to 90 minutes and get the 3 points. And that's what it's been all season, and that's worrying. And like last season, we win a game. Yes, at the end, we got to that and we haven't gotten off that sickness, but at least we should have convincing wins, Liverpool go top. Sorry, people don't like us referring to other teams, but we have to call it. Liverpool go top. Before they were on top, they would struggle to win games. But look at how they're winning games now. Yeah. They're really stamping games out and like, okay, this is a team challenging for the championship. But when we get on top, that's when we lose our feet, we lose our tactical ability, everything goes shut. So are we going to be outside the top 4? Highly likely, because as you can tell from Edu Gaspar's statement, it was about the sales for them. It's not about winning. So that trickles down. As they said, there's a domino effect, the ripple reaction. Even the players go like, okay, fine. We're not challenged enough. Management or the board doesn't want so much from us. I think they got what they want. So let's not break our bones for nothing here. You see?
That's a good point.
It's an effect that will go down. Even the fans, they'll just be off in a game. Don't be surprised if you see fans rallying for the opposition team in any other small game where Arsenal has been clobbered. I mean, this is what the board is doing to us. You see? So it's going to be an effect, a domino effect down to the pitch.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually, Prosper. I didn't think of it that way. You got young players who want to win the Premier League, but also playing in the Champions League for the first time. And they've got their sporting director saying, actually, the process is not anything to do with the Champions League, Des. No, it's not nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
How are the young players going to feel about that, Des? Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's like, what are we here for then? If we're not here to win the Champions League, if we're not here to win the league, what are we here for? You know what I mean?
To generate money from the merchandise, Des.
That's it, yes. It's from the sale of shirts, isn't it?
Yeah.
And But if I could answer your top four question,
Yeah.
I think we will be in the top four because no disrespect to Unai Emery, and I think Tottenham will drop. I think Aston Villa and Tottenham will fall away. So, you know, I mean, I think Unai Emery is doing an amazing job at Aston Villa. Tottenham are just Tottenham. So, you know, but I genuinely think we are strong enough to stay in the top four. But like you said, because it's all connected, we have to win at Palace tomorrow. It's a step in the right direction. You know?
Yeah. Isaac, you're back. We're just talking about the next segment, whether it's a possibility Arsenal may not finish in top four. Isaac, you're on mute, I think.
Yeah, we still can't hear you, Isaac.
Can't hear.
Well.
Yeah. Yes, it's lost.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, there
Yes.
you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We're just talking about whether Arsenal can stay in top four or actually fall out of top four.
Oh no, that's it.
Okay, yeah. So just to add on what they said, and what you said, brother. I'm a young player. I'm as good as Saka was last season, and I have a sporting director saying it's not about trophies. But when you end your career, you want to see you've won the Premier League, you've won the Champions League. You haven't become a Tottenham king player, you know, with no trophies, good player, played for so long in a big club, but no trophies. Don't want to be Hurricane. You see? So come end of the season, if the young talents that we've got opt to go out of Arsenal, don't be surprised, because it's what the club is giving. And that's why when you go into the transfer season with the statements that Edu is saying, which player would like to come to Arsenal? Which good player? To come and make numbers for the board, or they want to be there lifting up trophies and wearing gold medals? You tell me. Because already they get enough money. The only thing that they lack are the trophies.
Yeah.
You know, and the medals. You see? So when you go into the transfer period, are you going to get an Ivan Toney on hopes that, Arsenal is in the process, or a team like Chelsea will come and say, look, we goof, sometimes we go down, but when we come back real hard and we have silverware on us. You see? So a player will opt to go for a team like Chelsea and say, okay, fine, I can take my chances with Chelsea, but not with Arsenal, because the data is there to prove that they can lift trophies. You know, Liverpool can lift trophies, but us, you see? So that's one of the big issues that Arsenal has got. So it's more like we're just waiting for players to start going. Saka will go.
Yeah.
Definitely will go. If Madrid comes calling, he can't say no.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Bayern Munich are getting that way as well now, aren't they? It's Bayern
Exactly.
Munich, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So where would the process take us if we're going to be losing our key players starting from 2006? It's always been the trend. So that's what I'm saying. Even the fans can't be any patient anymore, because we've had this story over since 2006. Oh, we're building a stadium. 2014, the stadium was paid off and everything. Okay, now let's start challenging. Till today, I mean, it's 10 years down the line. We're still singing the same song. So the fans can't be any more patient. We've given in as much as we can.
You know, Go on, Des.
I was just going to say, when Arsene Wenger gave up Arsenal, Arsenal was broken, right? When Edu gave up Arsenal, Arsenal was broken. So if it gets to the stage where Arteta's going to give up Arsenal, are we still broken? Exactly.
So the process isn't working.
Yeah. So it started 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
Isaac, are you back with us?
No.
Oh, we can't
You're
hear
on
you.
mute again. You're on mute, please.
No sound, Isaac. Sorry, man.
No.
Are you using earpieces? I think remove them.
All right, now you're on mute. You put yourself on mute. You put yourself on mute. I can't unmute you. It says here that you've muted yourself. There you go.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. There we
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
Wow.
You're doing an
Finally,
Edu or
finally.
not?
Edu, today is Edu, not Ateta.
No,
I thought it was because you didn't believe the Edu video at first. You had to listen to it all again.
hey,
Yeah. Isaac, possible that Arsenal might finish the season out of top 4? Is it possible?
that will be a disaster. To start with, it will be a very, very big disaster. It will be a disappointment to every fan. Myself, be the most disappointed. In any case, I want to win the Premier League. That is my goal. Outside top 4 is something I cannot imagine is going to happen, but it's got to start working hard soon, because if it continues this way, then outside might seem likely, despite the fact that the teams that are around us are all dropping points in one game or another. And as the enforcer was saying, Unai has done a great job, but when you look at Unai, he's doing good when playing at home. But when playing away, his form is kind of here and there. You cannot really piece it together when he's playing away. But when he's playing at home, you are sure he's going to win at home. And you look at Tottenham. Tottenham is they have their vision. I've looked at the kind of business they have done so far. They have done good, and we are so quiet in this transfer window. I'm like, and tomorrow is 20th. We have 10 days to go, and I'm wondering what they are really thinking, or they think Dubai is a signing.
Nah.
They went to Dubai and they want to tell us Dubai is a signing. We want a we want a striker. We want a striker, and I've seen links with Smith Rowe, Tottenham, not Tottenham, West Ham. West Ham want Emil.
Yeah.
If I'll be sad to see Emil go, but if it is going to give us enough funds to get Ivan Toney in, okay, then I can sacrifice that and bring in Ivan Toney, so that he gives us 20 to 25 goals so that we can win. Actually, I'm going to watch him play tomorrow because he's playing tomorrow, and Frank said he's going to be captain tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see what he's going to bring on the field tomorrow, and then I'm going to call Arteta and tell him, stop joking and sign this man.
He's only going to come in the summer. He's not going to come in January, honestly. If he's going to come at all, it'll be in the summer.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very hard for us to win anything if we don't sign a striker. That is my honest opinion.
Totally, Isaac. Totally.
But just kind of for a spanner in the works, is it not the fact that Edu, the board members, they've been told just secure top 4, get Champions League, put in the money. That's all you need to do. Don't try and push to win the Premier League. Don't try and push to win the Champions League. Just generate the cash for us. That's all you need to do. Is that not what's happening? That's what's happening.
Exactly. But
you're probably right. You're probably right, Alex. But it's weak.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weak mentality.
Yeah.
As we've all put it here, it has a domino effect. So Arsenal not finishing top 4, it's not only going to be about other teams are weak, but it's going to be a self-stabbing sword, because we've done that several times where we've been in a position where we can get something, and for some strange reasons, we just kill ourselves. Not that Tottenham will be any good or West Ham will be any good, but we can injure ourselves at times. We just stab ourselves, we drop points with teams that we're not supposed to drop. And with this whole board mentality, you find us dropping points and panicking at the end of the season, and boom, we've put Tottenham there or West Ham there. Not that those teams played beautiful football, but we've got that part of us where we just give up everything and be like, okay, fine, it's okay. Everybody will forgive us. Nobody will demonstrate. Nothing will change at Arsenal. The owners are like, nobody will push us to sell the team. Look at the pressure the Man U fans give the board, the owners of the team. If they want that team sold, they'll get it done. But at Arsenal, we just too calm. I don't know why. So everything has domino effect. And
Prosper,
this is where we are.
Prosper, can I ask you a very quick question? Last season, right? Again, nobody expected that we would have had that run and come so close to win the Premier League. Do you think if we had any other manager, do you think the manager would have won us the Premier League last season?
Exactly. I mean, this is what I put on the group, on the WhatsApp chat group. There are some positions whereby when you have a certain kind of manager with a certain kind of mentality, like Mourinho is not good at playing system football, but he's good at getting results. He'll win games with corners, he'll win games with free kicks. I saw a Chelsea with the John Terrys and the Frank Lampard win games and win the Premier League because of corners and free kicks. They'll just have John Terry in the box, and they know these guys will get the headers, and throw the ball there and the Drogbas, and they'll just knock in a corner. But they'll play pathetic football. And that's how you have to calculate your team's strength. So he would have these all top players, the Balaks and everyone, just to cause that confusion in the box. And that's how he won the league. But what's our strategy? What's our strategy as a team when push comes to shove, when the system is not working? What's our strategy? That's why you need an experienced manager who can say, guys, now it's not about pretty football. Shoot from outside the box. Any scraps that come up, you've got the pace in the who's this one? The young striker, what's his name? Benketias and all these young boys in front to ricochet a scrap and put it in the net. You just have to have a certain kind of strategy, dirty strategy, but as long as it gets you to cross the line, you see? But we want to play, as Isaac was saying, we want to play very beautiful football, attractive football with no results for the while. We're there to win trophies.
Des, you want to say something, Des? Go for it, Des.
Well, Prosper makes a lot of sense, but I want to make 2 quick points. Mourinho would not be good for Arsenal because look what's happened to every team he's been at. Okay?
Yeah, but there's the point. The question is, do you think if he was the manager in Arsenal last season, do you think he would have got us
10 points?
No, I don't. Because I think what we burnt out. We lost that league because we burnt out. No manager can change you burning out. So that's what I think about that. But what I will say is this: what Arsenal lack, what Arsenal lack in this team, right? We have no experience. We have no experienced players in this team. They're all young, all of them. None of them are over. We haven't got. If you go back to the old days, go on, Alex.
No, but you've got Jorginho, who's won the Champions League. Yeah, you got Jesus, who's won the Premier League with Man City. Zinchenko's won. Thomas Partey has won La Liga. Yeah. So that's like 4 players at least.
But you've got no one who can control the team. So, for example, let me explain quickly, Alex, and you'll appreciate.
Right, okay.
Back in the Liam Brady days, right? Or if you wanted to, you could go back to the, Adams days. we had players in that team, right, that if someone did wrong, the manager didn't sort it out, the players sorted it out. Yeah, back in the day, didn't they, Alex?
Yeah.
The manager did a lot of stuff through the players. Now, don't get me wrong, Odegaard, I thought was going to be a great captain, but he's not loud enough. Yeah? All right, he's got his own style, but he's not loud enough. And that's what I mean by experience. We've got no one to say, oi, come on, we need to pull together here. We need to do something. Do you know what I mean? If you notice last season, right? Last season, the X-Man, he was pulling everybody together. Yeah? And that's the experience I'm talking about, Alex. I mean, someone who can go, excuse me, mate, you're being an idiot. Give you a cuff around the ear. I mean, I'm not, but you know,
Yeah.
We haven't got any players now that turn around to other players in the team and put them in their place. Yeah, we haven't. You know, you're here to play football, not to be an idiot. Stop doing that TV football. You know, you don't have to do all those step overs and all that rubbish. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I said it earlier. I'm kind of expanding on it. We hold on to the ball too long. No one's turning around to someone and saying, "Oi, Martinelli, get it crossed."
But that's down to the tactics. That's Arteta ball. That's how he wants them to play.
I wanted to argue the same days, you know. If you look at why we don't have those experienced players, every armband wearing experienced player is chopped off by Arteta. So it all goes down to Arteta, the manager. Is not keeping the experience in the team. His tactics, his way of managing. You know, you're always gonna have a Paul Gascoigne in the team. You're always gonna have a Wayne Rooney, a troublemaker. You're always gonna have those troublemakers. But you have to look at what they bring to the team against their trouble. You see?
Okay,
but with Arteta, any player that makes a mistake is chopped off. Any player that challenges him is chopped off. But I'm sure Roy King had several problems with Sir Alex Ferguson. You know?
But he did a job on the pitch.
But
that's what I'm saying.
He didn't chop him off because he knew when he goes to the pitch, he's going to deliver.
Okay, well, let me put it to you like this. Right? A couple of games ago, right? Odegaard played a beautiful ball to Martinelli, right? Over the top. Yeah, Arteta was going mental, absolutely mental on the sideline because he wants that one touch, move on football. But there was the opportunity. I'm a big believer in if there's an opportunity to do something on a pitch, you do it. So Odegaard took the opportunity to put a long ball to Martinelli to hopefully put a cross in and hopefully score. That's the way I break it down. You see what I mean? And I know, Alex, you're all right, but you're right about tactics. But sometimes you've got to do it on the cuff as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
You've got to take your opportunities.
Yeah, but he doesn't allow any room for that, Des.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to back your point, Des, where I'm saying.
I know you are, bro. I know you are. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just, you know.
Yeah.
It all comes back to Arteta. We don't have that experience, those experienced players, because probably they've challenged his tactics. Look, manager, we're in the game. The 16-yard box is clogged up. We're trying to shoot from outside. Can't we shoot from outside? He goes, because what's the point of buying Partey, who can shoot from outside, Declan Rice, who can shoot from outside, and keep them as guinea pigs who just have to pass short balls? What's the point? They can pick up a long pass. What's the point of buying such players if they can't play their natural football? What's the point? What's the point of buying Martinelli if you can't throw a ball that he has to run to? What's the point?
That's what we're saying, mate. That is what we're saying. Because, Alex, you played football, and when you played football, you had to look for the best pass, didn't you? The best pass, right? When I was a keeper, I had to pass it out to the right player so that the play could count. That's what I'm saying. And I just think that Arteta sometimes stifles our players because he's not letting them play their natural game.
Yeah,
I've just gone a long way around it. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't cut it a bit shorter. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I understand you.
Yeah, Isaac. So the original question was, if we had any other manager apart from Arteta last season, do you think that manager would have gotten over the line, Isaac?
I believe so. And
Mourinho?
I said,
Mourinho?
I said Mourinho, but the enforcer said no, no. Then I'm going to give you going to give you a Guardiola. Guardiola perhaps might have won you the league. Number one, said about fatigue. Fatigue, I could also attribute that to Ateta because he has no squad management skills. You look at it, some of the players have been on the bench forever. Uh, for instance, most of the time Trossard is on the bench, and I don't know what wrong he did, and he's always on the bench. Reece Nelson is always on the bench, and when you think that Saka needs a rest, and then he's played.
Yeah.
You think this time Martinelli needs a rest. Martinelli plays and Trossard is on the bench. That is one reason why you get Man City have so many players, and not just players, so many good players, because Guardiola knows how to rotate. He knows how to give each player game time, except that he has failed to give Calvin Phillips game time. That is the only player he's failed to give game time. And why has he failed to give Calvin Phillips game time? Because you cannot sit down a Rodri, you cannot sit down a De Bruyne, you cannot sit down a Bernardo Silva for Calvin Phillips.
Mm.
No,
That is why he's failed to give him game time. But for Arteta, he's failed to give players game time. When you clearly, as Isaac from Kenya, I can see Saka is struggling playing this game. Please take off Saka, and then he takes off someone else who's playing good. It takes off Reece Nelson instead of shifting him to the other side and bringing in a Trossard and not a Martinelli who's also misfiring. And hopefully, I watch most of the training sessions that Arsenal are in. I watch everything Arsenal, and I've been watching them in Dubai, and I've seen them play that one-touch football. That is what they are doing right now. That is one touch go, one touch pass, and like they've been doing sideways, backwards, and we cried for a very long time of this backwards and sideways football. I'm hoping when they come back from Dubai, they are going to be forward-minded, and like if they dare play backwards and sideways, I'm going to look for Arteta's number and tell him, boss, you've got to be serious. We know you are a young manager. The enforcer, do you have his number by any chance? Please share the number.
Prosper has the number.
Yes, he is. He is
was droppable.
He is an inexperienced manager, but he's got to listen. Let him listen and learn. You cannot learn while you are stubborn. Just listen. Like some part of last season, he was listening, and I don't know where he took his listening ear to, and he stopped listening. Now he wants everybody to a yes man, yes sir, yes boss, yes, you said this, we are good. That is what we do. He's turning, okay, we playing beautiful football, but he's turning everybody to be a soft boy. We do not have a Vieira. We do not have someone who can. We do not have a Xhaka. Perhaps if
yeah,
sure, and that is why you get teams like Newcastle, Everton, West Ham. They bullied us because everybody is a yes sir, is a yes man. We've been bullied because we are in our shells because the manager has bullied us, and now everybody else can bully us.
So my question is to you, Isaac, right? You say he's an inexperienced manager, yeah? How many years do you have to have under your belt to be an experienced manager? Because he's been with us what now?
I say he's an inexperienced manager. Number one, because this is his managerial job. He's not been a manager somewhere else. This is his first job, and he did quite a good job at some point. But again, he's the inexperience that is being indecisive, making wrong decisions, and not rectifying them and coupling up with more wrong decisions. You take off. Okay, for example, let me go back to the taking over Nelson. You take off Nelson, a wrong decision. You couple it up with bringing in a Martinelli who's off form instead of bringing in a Trossard who can cause problems. A mistake after another.
Agree.
And these are all his players. I know. Des, I understand the point you're trying to make about having like an enforcer on the pitch, but these are all his players.
Yeah,
and he does not want. He's not bringing in. He's not bringing in an enforcer. He's bringing in soft captains, soft boys. He goes for captains, but those who are soft. He goes for Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays fantastic football, but he's also somehow soft. He goes he's scouting. There's someone they went to scout a Real Sociedad player. He's soft. He's also soft. Instead of going for a killer boy who's going to bully people around, he's going for soft boys, and he wants VR. He's always complaining that Saka is not protected by the referees. That is what he's complaining most about, because he wants them to be soft. Go fight.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, who remembers how Arteta was? Was Arteta a soft boy, or was he? I can't remember now.
He was a soft boy.
He was a soft boy.
He was backed up by tough guys around him. He was a soft boy. It's his nature,
Let's go into the live chat for the last time anyway. Colin said, winners win things, not throwaway competitions, and sell bigger fish to fry with new gear and waffles encompassed with virtual signaling. John the Geezer, is also in the live chat, says, evening, Gooners. There's some pretty faces onto the some pretty faces.
Cheers, John.
Easy, John. Easy.
Good work, Sam.
He says, put on a bet on Toney getting a hat trick tomorrow. I'll see where. Yeah, you never know. There's someone says Arteta isn't experimenting. This is his ability. Nobody is listening or watching his long-term effects of his decision making, i.e., number 29. The goalkeeper situation have upset the entire balance of the dressing room. Now, what I wanted to say, Des, is that I've heard that there's a little bit unbalance in the dressing room because of how Ramsdale has been treated. I've heard that.
I touched on that before earlier, saying that there must be something going on. So,
yeah, I've heard that from another source. Tony Pugilistic Boy is in the house. It's good evening, all. Arteta doesn't have the people skills to keep fans behind him. So from that, in my opinion, he hasn't got the personality to endure himself to the players. Is that right, Prosper? Doesn't have the personality?
No, he hasn't got the personality. Just even from the previous point, the other comment you just talked about, we're talking about, as Isaac was saying, he hasn't earned the right to be an Arsenal manager.
Yeah.
It was given to him on a silver plate. Any other manager has to prove themselves somewhere else in a small club, rise through the ranks to get to Arsenal level of management. He hasn't earned that right to be the Arsenal manager. And even what he does in the dressing room is the same. Players have to earn the right to be respected in that dressing room. You just don't come automatically and keep a jersey or keep a position just because you are so and so. You have to earn that right. Even the players in the dressing room are supposed to say, we've played soccer. Give that person the jersey. You don't even have to say it as a manager. Your teammates will say, buddy, sit down, sit on bench. I think that player is better than you. We really need this game today, you know? But when you come in, Havertz is playing. Give or take 75 minutes, I'm going to substitute Martinelli, but Havertz will stay in the game. What do you do to the dressing room? Because he didn't earn the right to be Arsenal manager. He's also giving players that don't earn the right to be in those positions the chances. So it's all broken now. All on Arteta.
Des, we've spoken many times about the process. It has to have surely an expiration date, or do we just go on and on and on until we win the silverware with Mikel Arteta?
But that doesn't look like, if you listen to what Edu's saying, that doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, you know, tolerance only goes so far.
Anyway, Collins says Mickey Mouse. Observations: what players look happy to be playing for Arsenal? There's not many, actually. Not many. Mickey Mouse, Arteta. Warm weather training for 0 degrees weather. Oh my goodness. Troy Deeney for manager. Troy Deeney for manager.
John needs, the geezer needs stronger meds. You need to get to the doctor, geezer. You need stronger meds.
John, I'm done. You go to Dubai for training in cold weather. I'm done. I'm done. In cold weather.
Oh dear. It's amazing what Auba can do as a central striker. Isn't it, Mickey Mouse? All right, Colin. Thanks for that. Just a couple more. Arteta is trying to make our Arsenal have been unlucky. What, 60 times? Believe me, with this system, nobody's scoring 25 goals in a season.
That's what we said. That's what we said.
Goodness. I'll definitely have Giroud back. Des, would you have Giroud back? Olivier Giroud?
I would.
But is he not pushing on? Is he 30? How old is he? He's 35, 36?
Yeah, but he's still got a baby face, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
You know, yeah.
Would you rather take Benzema or Giroud?
But here's my take on everything.
The reason
But here's my take.
Go on.
Go on, this.
I was going to say, the reason I agree with John is he can score with his head, he can score with anything.
Exactly.
But what about Benzema? No?
The same.
Oh, I'm just going to get off cloud 9.
All right.
but my take on this is
Please be realistic.
But my take on this is, you can get a prime Cristiano Ronaldo and a prime Messi the other side, and a prime Karim Benzema as centre forward. With Arteta tactics, believe me, they will be misfiring at the end of the season.
Oh my goodness.
Because he doesn't see the strengths of the players.
The Assemble says Palace have been having a rough time lately. Along comes Arsenal.
Roy Hodgson's had too many goes with Crystal Palace, and I don't think it's working.
Des. Can anyone explain why Saka is looking like Pepe? I have no idea. We'll just probably talk about very briefly about the last segment. I mean, is it worth recalling Kieran Tierney and Marquinhos, Des? Is it worth it?
Does Kieran Tierney want to come back?
No.
We've already recalled Marquinhos.
I would recall Marquinhos, but Tierney, I'd let him go free, because end of the day, he's not going to play the same for Arsenal. He's, that's the quick answer.
Right. For you, Prosper?
Look here. For me, it doesn't matter who comes back or who stays wherever, because I know Arteta, if he can't play the good players on the bench, which are already around, even if he calls back these young lads, he's not going to play them. So what's the point of calling them back?
All right.
But we need them. Honestly, we need those players. But the Arteta I know will sit Marquinhos on bench only unless Saka is injured.
And even then. Right, okay. Last few. Let's have a look. Havertz or Holding, Isaac?
I think the silence says it all.
Sorry, John.
I would go for Holding.
Can't answer that.
I would go for Holding.
No, I want Isaac to respond. Isaac, come on, who, man?
See, John is putting me in a rather a fix here
Yeah.
because for me, the last segment we were on with Prosper, we asked how realistic is it to buy Havertz for 65 million, or Man City got Haaland for 55 million?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all, at all, at all. So when you tell me Havertz for 65, that is Arteta's choice, not my choice. My choice will have been someone else. If I had the scouting job, I'll be scouting some other players, not Havertz. You tell me you're bringing in Havertz, and I'm telling you no.
Go and get Onana from Everton.
Sure. Sure, you can go ahead and ask Alex how many times I told him we could get who? Onana. And how many times did I tell Alex there's this young lad from Fulham who went to Liverpool. We discussed him. You remember Alex? We discussed him a day like today, and the following day Liverpool had gone in for him. And you tell me, is it that Jurgen Klopp was listening to the podcast and not Arteta?
He was watching Cannon Fodder, yeah.
He was watching the Champions League. But what I make of Arteta, he plays a lot of video games. And that's the side effect. I don't think he plays a lot of video games. Too much FIFA and whatever.
You know what?
That is Carvalho. Alex, you remember Carvalho?
Carvalho, that's it. Yeah, the youngster.
Yes, we said go for Carvalho. He's a young lad. He's English. If you want homegrown talent, and then boom, tomorrow, the following day,
they find him.
Liverpool were in for Carvalho, and I was like, what? Were they listening to what we were saying? And then here is Arteta, and Prosper is saying he's playing so much video games, he does not concentrate on listening to Fodder. Cannon Fodder.
Des, you want to say something, Des?
I'm thinking, well, going on that, when we go in for Toney in the summer, Liverpool are going to get him the day after, aren't they? So.
Oh, behave yourself.
But no, it's a possibility.
Of course, it's a possibility.
If I'm Ivan Toney, as we said earlier, I'm going to look at which club is going to put me there on the big screen in the Champions League, Arsenal or Liverpool. So if both come calling, I know where I'm going. Even me, I know where I'm going. You know? You see, so it all comes down to whatever we're doing right now has an effect, a long-term effect. As one of the people have commented that they have a long-term effect on how the club progresses. Because how do you attract players if you're telling them we are not in for the Champions League? So who wants to come and play Fulham week in, week out, year in, year out? They want to rough it up with the big boys up there in the Champions League. So if you're telling them we're not going to rough it up with the big boys in the Champions League, then they're not coming.
Instead of last summer going for Toney, we ended up with the Chelsea giraffe.
There's
actually Alex, for me, we could have even gone for Hurricane. What could have prevented us going for Hurricane? Nothing. Could have gone for Hurricane, 65 mil, top up some little money, and have a payment structure. Go for Hurricane. Could have had a Hurricane, a killer striker. When every top performing team needs a killer striker. Here we are. Jesus himself says, I'm not great at scoring goals, but there are some other things I can do for the team. Soccer, my friend. Soccer is about goals.
But
Soccer
where
is
is it
about
coming
goals
from?
and win games.
Where is it coming from? The sports director. No, we're not about the Champions League. So everybody now, no, I won't score you goals, but I'll be there as a center forward. So what are you doing there as a center forward if you're not gonna score goals?
Colin says, man, if I was on this show right here, I would have the dumpster fire stoked up right up with laughter for all. The topics you're on today are precisely Arsenal's failures. Everything. Dear.
And I'll tell Prosper, you are the only one who understands Swahili. And the Swahilians say, msiba wa kujitakia hauna kilio. Alex, I'll interpret that to you. That
Please.
a self-inflicted wound has you cannot cry over it. It is something that is self-inflicted.
Yeah. That's a good point. Oh, dear.
You know, I wanted to say something earlier. I wanted to stress out a point. If you look at, I've always been an admirer of Ancelotti from way back. You know, from way back at AC Milan with the Gattusos, the troublemakers, but they would always make that team tick because every time I remember Cristiano Ronaldo was roughed up by Gattuso. This is other game. Every time you go to play AC Milan, you're like, okay, we're getting one major star knocked out because of Gattuso, you know? And Ancelotti would tell those boys, go and play your football. And that's how he manages teams, you know? He lets the players. So even an average player, you give that player to Ancelotti, you bring out the best from an average player, you know? And that's Ancelotti's best skills, you know? He's able to build confidence in each and every player in the team, and he doesn't show favoritism that you are the one who's carrying the team, you are the main man here. But it makes everybody feel like that important in the club, you know. And that's why Arteta misses it a lot, because you have to look at your players and say, even if I've got average players, but let me make them feel like stars, like the Leicester City that won the EPL, you know. Those were average players, player for player, with the current Arsenal squad. I mean, we're better off than that Leicester team that won the league. And honestly speaking, they had an on-fire Manchester City and on-fire Chelsea to compete with. But they won the league because they had an experienced manager who could keep them top, regardless of everything. When everybody was saying they'll drop, and there they went. You see? And they didn't have much squad depth as well.
Let's look at this comment here from David Sullivan. It says, bring in Mourinho on Monday evening. Hope the board are negotiating now. It's not going to happen. It's not.
No, it's not.
No.
Can I just
Mourinho
say,
will give us Park the Bus vibe. And that is not what we need.
Chelsea are rallying for him.
Can I just say, Alex? Tonight has totally gone how you said it would go when you messaged me the other day.
Yeah, I told you that. And there's so many comments in the live chat. I can't read there. But yeah. Do you know what, guys? We'll come to an end. And I didn't even get to ask you guys a prediction for tomorrow's game.
2-0 Arsenal. I'm trying to be positive.
Isaac's not saying anything.
With this team that we have right now, it is even difficult to give a prediction. You want to say go for a 4-0 win, a big margin, and build on it. But again, you remember their home is firing, and they have gone to Dubai where it is very hot for a cold weather. And you go for a 2-0 just like the enforcer.
I was going to say you need two numbers up between 0 and whatever else you do.
Prosper, bring it home, man. Prediction for tomorrow.
Well, kind of difficult to call this one because, honestly speaking, we didn't go to the holiday on a good note. We were shaken a lot. There's a lot of loss in confidence. The training and everything is something else. But when you go on the pitch as a football player, somehow you feel your legs are shaking sometimes, you know. You're nervous and everything. And if we happen not to get scored early, That's the biggest problem. If we don't give away a goal early, we're winning 1-0, 2-1, or 2-0. But if we give away a goal early, it's gonna be a long day for
But
us.
Prosper, doesn't it also depend on the 11, the starting 11, because we might get some
No, but
surprises.
we've got one of the best starting 11 in the league, but the tactical approach to the game, as we've always complained, especially last season, we spoke about game management. When you're 1-0 up, you remember all of us have played football, even amateur football. There's a time when one person or two people go in the middle, then you pass around the ball, you make them run around. When you're 1-0 up, it's the other team that's supposed to have a go at you. Tire them up by passing the ball around. Then you find that you're 1-0 now, you're 1-0 up, he's pressing a lot and then leaves us open. We are counter-attacked and we're scored. So I'm like, where's the game management? Pep Guardiola's tiki-taka, Barcelona was good at that. They score you a goal, they'll keep the ball, you keep chasing shadows till you wear off. You see? And then they'll score another one because you are tired. You see, so there's that game management part of him that I'm very skeptical. So when I go into a game, I'm thinking we're going to go there overzealous, we press hard and they'll come with a counter attack and bang. Because our attacking, I was reading some article, we're the third slowest attacking team in the Premier League right now. Third slowest. So we'll go there with our slow attack. Then because we've been training slow attack, even in training, we don't know how to defend the counter attack. And that's always the case.
And we don't know how to
defend the counter attack.
And we don't know how to
because we're so slow. You see, so it's a tough one.
And don't be surprised if Win isn't on the bench tomorrow. Win the dog.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Prosper, did you watch Luminous play Man City around, kick the ball around, and Man City were following the ball or trying to get the ball like they have been playing other teams?
Huh? I didn't get you what it says.
Did you watch Fluminense play Man City? That is the Club World Cup.
No, actually, I missed that one because I think I was traveling. I missed that one.
I watched some bit of it, and Man City they were made to look like small kids chasing the ball around like they do to other teams.
Yeah. And they didn't expect it. Probably they didn't expect it.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I've loved this, but I've got to go in a minute.
Yeah, we're finishing now anyway. We're finishing.
Okay, cool.
There's a couple more live comments. So John says Kane would never come to Arsenal after Spurs. And I let Colin have the last say. He says, great show, Alex and panel. Des, bring a bit more, please.
Bring a bit more. Come on, you Gunners. It's Crystal Palace. You've got to win it. You know what I mean? But for me and the lads and the ladies that love you.
Well, that's it, guys. The first easy talk of the new year. Oh, a little bit tetchy, a little bit lively. Des, bring a little bit more. I thought Des brought it. Des brought it.
I brought it all night.
Yeah. Come on, Colin. You're being a bit too harsh. Anyway, brother Prosper, always a pleasure on the channel, man. Really, really good, man. Really, really good. Really enjoy your thoughts and your discussions, man. Really good points that you raised there.
Yeah. Sorry, Alex, I can't hear you properly. It's really raining like heavily, even though I've got a nice ceiling, but it's really loud here. So you gotta be a bit audible.
But thanks, Prosper. Thank you very much. Brother Isaac.
Thanks, Isaac. Thanks, Dave.
No worries. Isaac, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. Let's hope for a Mourinho return.
Who knows? Come on, give us. No Mourinho, not Mourinho. But he's got to do better. Alex, what I've always been saying is I want to be happy. And that is all. Are we asking for too much? Just to make us happy. That is what we are asking for. We are not asking for much, just to make us happy.
Even once. Just surprise us with the Champions League.
Yeah. We're asking for too much. Des, brought it. Nice one. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, lads. It's been good being on here.
Nice one. A lot of laughter. So I will be back tomorrow doing an instant post-game reaction. Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Don't ask me for a prediction. You might not like what you're going to hear. Anyhow, No. This has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Come on, you Gunners. Come on.